Welcome back to another episode of the You Weren't There podcast. I'm your host, at Mia Was Here, 5 underscores. We got my boy Melly. Give him your intro, bro.
You already know it's Yo Melly, baby. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Yo Melly, baby, and Melby Jr. on Facebook. What's up, gang?
And today we have a special guest, good friend of mine. This is Anthony Wiseman, a legend in the city. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, hey, Anthony Wiseman from the area, Silver Hill area kid, and you can follow me on Instagram, Reed Wiseman. Aside from that, I'm here to say hey and shoot the breeze and stuff.
Okay, we appreciate you coming through, man. We love having you today. And I think we've been doing kind of like a conversation focusing towards like building people up and community. And we want to continue to do that. Shout out to the backpack giveaway that we did with J Flow and 93.9 today. I think we were able to give away about 500 backpacks. So shout out to everybody that came and showed up for those kids. We got to continue to do that. But we want to get back to sports, man. We got to get back to football. It's almost football season. But let's talk about it. We got to get right into it. Ant is an area legend. He's done everything, as far as like the scale of what football is. So let's just kind of start there. And then we're going to get into our predictions for the season. We're going to let Melly talk about the bum-ass Broncos. Don't start. And give us your story from Boys and Girls Club to DeMatha to Maryland to Jets. Give us the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, man, in a lump sum, but, there's always a story behind everything.
Right.
Thanks again for, bringing me on and stuff. But, just like I said before, I'm from Silver Hill. That's where it started, Silver Hill Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
And, all right. How you say it? The Chiefs, right? that's all that's out there. Montgomery Village, right? All right. But, Silver Hill, man, is the Bears, man. And, just cool family atmosphere. They taught us a lot, man, and some of the things that still carry on throughout my career and through life. And right now, it started, at North Barnaby, so walking through the woods and stuff to our games from the practice and stuff. Just a great organization, So throughout the journey of the levels of boys club to high school, it's all about the organization and family oriented and
You felt like DeMatha was like a family environment, like they took care of you?
For sure. So DeMatha, it's just the brotherhood there,
right.
So it's you got leaders from Coach McGregor, to Dan McMahon, our principal, to all the fathers there and stuff. It's always been
It's a great program.
Great program,
for sure,
from top to bottom.
And DeMatha's still a powerhouse. Like I went to good counsel, so I feel away. You know what I mean? Just having him here, I feel away. He understands, but
I never seen good counsel.
It's something you got to be in the WCAC to understand it. It's just a rivalry, like within that conference. Like you got to be there to understand like why we hate them in a certain way, especially when it came to football, because like from the time that you were in school, so you graduated what, like 05. So at the time that you was in school, like even then DeMatha was a powerhouse. They just still happened to be one
powerhouse, the house of Stags. Here's the thing. You walk down the hallway, right, and you have an All-American here in this sport, an All-American in that sport. It's the coaches was this back in the day or whatever. It's just everyone. It's such a competitive thing just to walk down the hallway. So, walking down the hallway and just remembering like just to hold your head up high and stuff. And it even down to the band, the music and stuff. So it's just very competitive. Taught us a lot. And
did not have a band that we remember that good counsel. Not a good counsel. It's a different kind of school.
I know, got no band. So I got lacrosse, but no.
We did, and I'm a proud Falcon because that was what I played. So yeah, I mean it's different schools, different cultural atmospheres. So they have different value systems. We'll say.
You should have came to the hood.
Nah, we good. We chose what we chose. We chose what we chose. So just out of curiosity, because I remember like like kind of your name being in the paper, like when I was young back then, like why Maryland? Right? Because DeMatha is a school where like you're kind of getting recruited from everywhere, right? So like of the Ohio States, the LSU's, like the like kind of like formidable programs, why choose Maryland?
You know, it was a pipeline, man. They just was coming off of well, they went to the bowl game against Florida. They didn't do too well, but you know, the buzz was there. They won the national championship in basketball. You know, so he had a lot of buzz, and then it was right down the street.
Right, that was like the Juan Dixon, Blake era,
yeah,
okay,
all those guys, and you know, and then you know, the math had been 5 lights down the road. You know, it was like a no brainer, and pretty much just wanted to stay close to family.
Okay,
you know, I didn't take any official visits. You know,
what?
Any official visits?
How many do you get?
5.
You get 5 official visits.
Five official visits,
which are basically all expense paid trips to a party. Why did you? Yeah, like as far as like 5-star recruits, like you get 5 official visits, which are basically 5 parties.
Yeah.
So they get 5 parties to convince you whether or not to go to that school. So you could have gone to 5 powerhouses and you took no visits. Like you were that sure you were going to Maryland?
I was that sure. My buddy, my best friend Rico, his brother went to Syracuse.
Okay.
So he was there. You know, we'd go up there and visit and
Gotcha.
stuff.
That would have been around the time Quentin Brown was there?
Quinn.
Who has a quarterback and like a program now.
Right.
Okay. Shout out to Quentin, man. We love you over here, bro.
For sure. So it was Reggie McCoy and all those guys.
Okay.
Up there, Quinn. It was a pipeline, the pipeline, you know, up there at the moment and stuff. But had fun up there. Went to UVA and you know, it's like the local schools. But I knew I was going to go to.
You knew you were going to Maryland.
To Maryland.
Because you want to stay close to family.
My mother, you know, so
I got you.
stay close, you know, just because of that. And I feel like I could have done it then. We had like a top 5, top 10 class coming in, you know, the guys, you know, Jared Gaither, Darius Hayward Bay and all those guys coming in, Morgan Green, you know, it's just like the guys can stay in you know, in state and, you know, make Maryland great and stuff. So,
okay.
Diggs was there with y'all?
No, he came much later.
He
came much later, yeah. I think Diggs was there maybe around 2012-ish.
Yeah.
So it would have been like, he would have been like his OG, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. But same like pipeline to WCAC, because Diggs comes from a WCAC school too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, this is like the area for that, right? Like we're 10% of the NBA.
What made you want to play football, bro?
Man, I started playing at 7. I remember my brothers throwing me the ball in the parking lot and Hail Mary and I'm catching the ball, you know. So it started out like very naive about it and stuff, but it was a natural thing for me. And then I was always fast and stuff. It was a story back in the day where I drove over 7th Avenue. I drove my dad's truck off the little wall, cliff or whatever. And, you know, they started chasing me around the house and nobody could catch me. I was like 4 years old and stuff. So ever since then, you know, I like, dang, he can run, you know, so, you know, it started out there and, it you know, it just took off, man. And then we have Coach Brody. It's a guy, man. He saw us at the, over there in Courage Hill. We was living at Courage Hill at the time. And
he be around.
Yeah, he be around. He real life OG out here.
Mr. Brody used to drive the cab, right, the yellow cab, and he got me into Silver Hill, you know, because my family they grew up in the Bradbury Heights area and stuff, so they all played with them. But Coach Brody got me into Silver Hill, just taking me to practice. They thought he was my granddad and stuff, but you know, it started there and football, man, it's you gotta have it in your heart, man, because
Take a different type of man.
Yeah, like at 7 years old, 8 years old, like going head up and
No, seriously.
like it's
My nephew played football, and I'll never forget he was playing Mighty Mites, and a kid knocked the wind out of him.
Yeah.
I ran on that fucking field so fast, like it's different.
Yeah.
Like, and they were like 5, 6 years old
Yeah.
playing Mighty Mites. So no, it's I can't understand it. So when you like graduated from DeMatha, like kind of where were you ranked? Because you had gotten
Yeah.
injured at that time too.
right. Got injured like second week of my senior year. It was crazy, right? Because I came back that spring and ran track and won the 100 meters, won the WCAC basically with a knee brace on, like 6 months of training.
This, bro.
And
You really you think you still got it? Real quick, I don't want to cut you off. You think you still got it? You think you could beat me in a race?
I probably can't, man. I can run.
I was
I
honest.
don't trust nobody.
I would have lied.
I
I
ran
told him
across
how
the
to
bridge
smoke them.
earlier.
I don't trust,
I would have lied, even if I
I
couldn't.
don't trust me looking shape.
I don't know, man. I can run a little bit now. I probably pull a muscle and stuff.
You too modest.
I-
Fast and shit.
Not for real. No, for
I can still
real.
do a little
You better work,
something.
I'm good.
I can do a little something, man. But like you said, ranked top 10, what was it? 10th ranked cornerback coming out of high school.
Wow. In the nation, though.
In the nation. So, I didn't go to any camps, no rivals camp. I turned all that stuff down,
Which was so big in that time.
Yeah,
Like,
during that time, like
yeah.
Dirk Williams, all those guys, he got number one
Oh,
basically.
he was number one wide receiver. Out of,
No, he was number one player in the
yeah,
country.
Roosevelt.
based on those camps, though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
That's number 9
Him
right
not
there.
going to camp is a big deal. Like,
Yeah.
to still be ranked like top 10 cornerback in the nation when you don't go to no camps to show that off for recruiters. That means you doing that well
shit.
in just your high school game.
Yeah, just I didn't get the ball too much. We at DeMatha, you got 4 guys that are go D1. The 4th string running back, he technically our 4th string running back, Jordan Scott, R&P Jordan Scott, he passed away not too long ago. Set the college football rushing record
What?
at Colgate.
Really?
Our 4th string running back. So
There's
that's how
fourth
deep.
string.
That's how deep it is. It's crazy.
Yeah, DeMatha's deep, though.
Yeah,
Okay, DeMatha like that.
you got to
So that's
share the,
preparation for Maryland. Like, when you come from like a football factory like DeMatha, you get to Maryland and you feel like what? You feel like you were prepared when you got there. You feel like you kind of already understood the situation you were going to be in. Was it totally different because like you go from being kind of a superstar to like, new guy on a totem pole? If you
Yeah,
will.
it was. I had the injury, so that kind of took a toll. But then also too, it was a lot of behind the scenes. All the politics, all of this and that.
Right.
That are But back then, it's a little different than it is now. A guy can just transfer.
Right.
A guy can be released from.
They had a portal back then.
Right. So it was just the scare tactics of this and that, the loyalty, and then just my upbringing of just finishing what I started and stuff. I just felt like, it's this is what I need to do.
Right.
And stuff. But when I was getting recruited by the current coach now, Coach Loxley
Okay.
and Coach James Franklin, so like that's what made me want to go to Maryland. Those
Gotcha.
guys, and they are still doing what they doing today. They doing what they doing back then. They doing today still.
Right.
So
So that there's like real legacy there.
oh,
For sure.
those Maryland they was there. So
A lot of great players came out of Maryland too.
and the
A
staff.
lot of great players come out of that football program.
You had Coach O'Brien. You had a lot of talent at the coaching level at Maryland. You
Right.
know, so it was just a good fit. Even though Coach Franklin, I was getting recruited signed for signing day, whatever day after signing day. Coach Franklin is going to Green Bay to coach and stuff. the next day,
The day after you signed.
yeah, I was out in.
You found
Clinton
out your
at-
coach is
at
going to the
Mama Lucia
NFL.
Getting some
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I would never forget. But that's when I knew it was gonna be real.
Okay.
So I was an uphill battle ever since then.
So, like, what did your career look like at Maryland? Like,
I mean, shoot. Long story short, first game I ever played, I was a freshman at the Champ Sports Bowl.
okay.
Played pretty good. Had a couple pass breakups and stuff. First time stepping on the field, and I had I had tore my meniscus and fractured my tibia early in the season checking Darius Hayward Bay.
Ah.
In practice and stuff. I was supposed to be checking. I was prepping for Calvin Johnson that week.
He was at, what's the name?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I was prepping for him. I was going to be the starting nickel, right, freshman, and so from jump to from the beginning of my career at Maryland to my last 2 years actually starting. I started the last 2 years, 2 year starter, led the ACC in pass breakups, no interceptions.
That's hard to do in college.
Yeah, but the thing
This
is,
was when Florida State was still in
Exactly.
ACC.
Exactly.
yeah.
Y'all had ballers.
The thing is too, man, you got to seize your moment, So just because you touching the ball and doing this and that, you got to pick the ball off.
Right.
You got to make a sudden change and stuff, and that's where the money at.
Right.
And stuff, And then for a guy like me, I'm 5'9", I can run a 4.3, but you're not picking the ball off. It's going to be
They looking for a certain type of superstar.
yeah,
to get to the next level.
Yeah, it's
So it's not always about talent. Sometimes it's about like the kind of talent that gets you noticed. Okay.
Nigga said he run a 4.3. That man. I'm good.
Now I heard that about you though.
Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah.
Adrian told me that like you used to run a 4.3.
It was cool. I actually had a set a record too in the 200 meters.
Doing this shit.
High school.
He popping shit like
I mean,
record.
I mean,
but I ran a 4.3.
But
Damn.
that's why I didn't have to go to any camps and stuff or do anything like that.
'Cause you a track star.
The track times don't lie. Film don't lie. Track,
Right.
times don't lie. And but you gotta really do something with it.
What you love about football, bro? Like what about football make you really love the game?
I say the passion, man, and just once when I was a running back, well, in high school, playing running back and everything, being able to just hit the hole and just outrun everybody, because I wasn't a guy that had a lot of moves and stuff, but I was like one foot in and just shoot it and just go, and nobody could catch me and stuff. So and then hand the ball to the ref and act like
Y'all had
nothing.
luxury of speed.
Yeah,
I was a quick like.
Nah, speed is
quick,
like.
but speed,
I think that's crazy. Like,
crazy.
I think that's why I'm so surprised. Like, I don't know. To me, you probably should have been like one of the greatest running backs the NFL ever saw. So, what do you feel like happened? Like, between Maryland and like getting an opportunity to like, was it a practice squad for the Jets? Or?
Yeah, practice squad.
So, like, what happened between, I guess, like your senior year at Maryland and like practice squad for the Jets, and like how did it kind of fall apart?
Yeah, I mean, all right. So
man, they trash.
right. So it's weird because I went from my junior year. Well, I was a red shirt. I redshirted my freshman year, so I was a red shirt junior. Right?
Okay.
And we was going to play Kaepernick out Boise in one of those bowl games and stuff. And I put my stuff in it. I got a 3rd round grade, but I wasn't. I wanted to get my degree,
Right.
But so I had a 3rd round grade my junior year, come back my senior year, and things wasn't sitting right, and if you got to really prepare for going into that senior year. I tore my pec during junior day, trying to bench 400 something pounds, something crazy,
Yeah.
like trying to do the most, right? Instead of just doing 225, the minimalist thing and going to run, what I knew how to do.
Right, which you're great at.
Exactly. So I was behind the 8 ball, and I mean, I still I played a cool season and stuff, but my junior year, I didn't allow any touchdowns scored on me. Senior year, I think I probably allowed a couple touchdowns, but
What's gonna happen?
yeah, it's going to happen, but it's timing,
Yeah, it's when it happens. You go from like not allowing any your junior year when you're ranked around third round
Third round.
to now senior year. Now
Yeah.
you're and that's another thing too that they're considering.
Had injuries.
Yeah,
All
junior
that-
pro
Talk
day.
about
Yeah,
that. Talk about how you came back from all your injuries, bro. Because I hear you talk
Yeah.
about you had a lot of injuries, so you overcame that and you still was on the
yeah,
field.
it's- right. So fast forward to my junior year, I didn't run. I didn't get the chance to run for my junior day. Junior day year. You're getting prepared for for the scouts. They are actually looking so you can be on the radar,
Right.
right? Anthony Wiseman did not run the 40.
It's crazy.
So
Because you run a 4.3, which is like the thing everybody's going to talk about.
A blur.
That's crazy.
and
Why? Was that a decision you made or they told you wasn't allowed to?
I tore my.
You
pec.
tore your peg.
Yeah.
So that's why you couldn't run in your junior day.
Right.
Ah.
Right. I tore my pec at junior day trying to.
At junior day.
Right.
Before you got a chance to run.
Yeah, so we was
Damn.
in Cofield House, and I'm doing the bench press, and we bench first before we ran, which doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you trying to bench
Bad shit.
then
Yeah.
go run a 40-yard dash? But no, I still play ball, man, and have fun and tried my best, and I got a degree, and I got a call to go to the Jets, to make it happen again, and I tried out, and next thing you know, I'm back on the Amtrak back to DC 4 days later.
That's crazy.
That's how
It was
fast
4
that went.
days?
I mean, rookie minicamp was what, 3 days? The
Right.
weekend.
That's true.
You got a couple of days
They
to.
fly you out for that.
Well, because I was close. And I was up there with the Jets. So I come in first day, right? There's Cromartie. We got Revis.
With legends.
Then they drafted the boy Kyle Wilson out of Boise. And so coach bring him in and introduce him to the guys and stuff. I think they was in some room or something. And the coach told Cromartie, was like, yeah, we brought Wiseman to take your spot. This is Antonio Cromartie and stuff.
We probably
So,
drafted you.
man, what, 6'4"?
And 6'4".
6'4".
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
You know,
Big as shit.
So
Oh.
I was like, we came in and I don't know if that was probably the best situation. I had to be like the man coming in and make every play to
Facts.
make that team.
Facts.
As an undrafted.
You had to be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super perfect. So my NFL dreams came and like that, so
Okay, so
Nothing wrong with it.
it's not, but I do have a question.
Mm.
So when you look at like the draft, like the portal now, right, the transfer portal, do you feel like that's helping these kids as far as like maybe getting the opportunity to play, to be in a better situation than maybe kind of your dream school that doesn't really fit your style as a player?
Mm.
Or do you feel like it's really giving these kids an opportunity to kind of run away from the challenge of having to like work to earn your position?
I mean, it's the portal is probably the best thing that could have happened in college sports.
Why do you think that?
It was too much control, before
By the university?
by the universities and just the whole system,
Because it can add a layer of corruption to the system, right? Because now you could scare kids into doing what you want them to do.
It's like, yeah, so you didn't have any freedom. You didn't have you had the opportunity, but you was going to lose a year.
Right, you was gonna lose a year.
Going to lose a year
Before the portal came
just
along.
like in high school back then. Like now you can transfer in high school.
Right,
You transfer in high school back then. You losing the whole year.
exactly.
I
I remember that vividly.
Transfer, you had the red. It was like red shirt.
You had a red shirt, so you lost a year.
You had to sit
Yeah.
out the next year.
You had to
So,
sit out that year.
I mean, situations happen for myself. Like I said, my recruiting coach left the day after I got signed. Right. That's who I talked to. That's who I know. I really didn't talk to Friedgen too much, and I talked to Coach Blackney back then. I was at defensive coordinator at the time, but it's just like it's about relationship.
Right.
So relationship not working here or there. If you're good,
Right.
you can go ahead and transfer to another school if you're good.
Right.
Because you can die in the portal, like Coach Prim said.
Yeah. Coach
some
Prime
people
did-
don't
that's
get
real.
picked up. So it can be a gift and a curse. But I think it's a beautiful thing, man, that kids can transfer out of the school, go to another school and play, and then transfer back to the school and the next season and back on the roster. You know, it's as simple as that. So, but it's a cool thing, man. I think it's
So you for the transfer?
I'm
portal?
for the transfer portal.
Okay.
Let me ask you.
I'm
this.
for it too, for sure.
I'm cool for sure. Let me ask you this. What advice do you have to the kids that's coming up that want to play football? Because you know how a lot of parents they worried about the CTE
Yeah.
and their kids getting injured. What's your advice to the kids that want to just go out there and play ball?
Yeah. I'll take it back and piggyback off what we talked about earlier. Uh, Delaney, Quentin Brown.
Right.
He has his organization, right? So I goes and coach the defense for him,
Okay.
right? So we start out was a wing builder. So I was teaching the kids then, and we have our practices. He's like, Anthony, do what you want to do on defensive day, right? So I'm teaching these kids, there's a way to practice, there's a way to play. And I was all about safety. I used to cringe when I used to see the kids not tackling right, or there is so much contact at practice. You don't have to go to those realms of contact to teach the game and for safety. And so we
But
talking
that's the era we came up in now.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Smack head.
Niggas was playing tackle football
smacking
in the
heads.
street in Temple
Yeah.
Hills. Like
Hey.
niggas playing full
Oklahoma drill.
tackle football
Oklahoma drill.
on 28th Avenue in Temple Hills. I remember you niggas. A lot of you niggas is slow right now because of them hits you took on Branch Avenue. I'm telling you, that's really like how
Oklahoma
the
drill.
kids came up.
That whistle blow, you got both.
You was in people's backyards playing tackle football.
Yeah, for sure. But then you got a lot of guys, you got a lot of talent that's gonna be missing because it's not being taught right. So you got to be patient with the kids and stuff. But for the kids nowadays, man, just like I said, just being patient, but you teach them the game. It's you got to teach them the right way to play and stuff. And
No, the problem is a lot of niggas who couldn't play football with you who got cut from the team coaching these kids now. That's really the issue. There's a lot of that happens. A lot of bums coaching your children these days. For real. I see a lot of dudes who like, he never played
it's the opposite way,
football
bro.
and they coaching your kids. That's crazy.
yes, man,
That's crazy.
It's film study, man. You gotta.
Man, you still gotta get hit every day. You play
Yeah.
I play running back. You get hit every
Yeah,
day.
you're gonna get hit.
Whether you
but,
get the ball or don't, you getting hit.
But guess what? The kid that's sharp in the mind and study and know the game, they're gonna play fast. They're gonna beat you to the spot and make the tackle so much easier than it's supposed to be. I don't care how hard you hit or whatever, but in the open field, when you gotta tackle James Cook in the open field and run an alley or whatever, those kids gotta know how to run angles, and it's all calculations and stuff. They gotta know a step ahead. Like, oh, it's probably gonna be a run, so I'm already downhill. Like in their head, So it's about having that step ahead, and no matter how fast somebody is or how slow somebody is, they got a step in their brain. So it's all preparation and stuff. But that's the key, I think, for the kids who want to play football. Like teach the guys, teach the kids how to play cover two and the fundamentals of the game. Like back in club when I used to think. Playing against like White Oak and Maplewood and all these teams, used to come in town and Vienna and stuff. They wasn't the best, but they had
Fundamentals.
Fundamentals.
They understood the game. That's true. I remember that in high school, though. Like, you could play a team who you felt like, no, we're more talented. We're the better team. But if they understood the fundamentals of a game better, it just felt like they had a level of patience that you didn't have if shit got close. I think that's really like what I learned, like playing lacrosse. Is like, like you learn that like, you never underestimate those schools who maybe have less superstars, but are like fundamentally based. Because when like, if games are close, it's really the fundamentals that start winning games.
Yeah.
Because like when your emotion gets in the way of things, a lot of times it throws off your technique. So like if you're not the more patient player, you have a tendency to get knocked out by the more patient, like that's how Tank wins fights.
Same thing when you get tired. When
He
you get tired, you make
outpatience a nigga.
mistakes.
Right.
Yeah.
You get tired, you make mistakes.
Yeah, that too. That's another part.
Fundamentals.
That's another thing that comes from like those fundamental teams is conditioning.
Yeah.
Like teams like that break down fundamentals are teams that believe in conditioning, hardcore conditioning. Because if you can't breathe through games, you're not going to survive games. It don't matter how good you are. When LeBron is tired, you throwing up bricks. Like that's really what, in my opinion, that's what was going wrong with James Harden's career. He come back, 20, 30 pounds overweight with titties every season, really every season after OKC, because at that point he was the man. He was coming back overweight every season. He got titties every year. He spends 82 games trying to work himself into shape. And then by the time you get to the playoffs, you got to play 20, 30 more games. He burnt. And it's hard to get them shots. So when you rely on a 3-point shot and you're not conditioned, and now you game 6 in the playoff in the semis, you tired as hell. Like that's really that's what went wrong with James Harden to me. And to me, that's the difference with like the best football players.
That's what I'm saying. So when we speak on that, bro, it talks about like your nutrition, like how'd you stay in shape, like how'd you get yourself up every day to get ready to play.
I mean, at Maryland, so some schools, right? They have nutritionists. They have the system there. Like we're talking almost 15 years ago. It's a different game now. So
So y'all didn't have nutritionists?
no, not at Maryland.
So you had to figure that out?
Yeah, I mean, no, we didn't have a nutritionist at Maryland.
So you had to figure out your own nutrition.
Yeah.
Based
There
off,
was
like,
no nutrition.
Based off that bullshit they serving us in.
at
on
South
the meal
Campus
plan.
that going to, like it
Oh, you was there with Vernon?
yeah, I was there 1 year with Vernon and stuff. Like he was my host.
That nigga was a freak. Y'all had to have a nutritionist. So y'all was getting steroids.
Hey, bro, what that? Why would you say that? What is wrong with this?
Y'all was Brian Garcia with it, bro. Because anyway, that nigga was.
He was different. I mean, he stayed in the gym. He
You
stayed
embarrass
in the
me,
gym.
bro.
What?
You embarrass.
What? Nah, I want to know what the fuck they was doing up Maryland. My man with the murder, I told you, he's running back. Shout out to my man Megan.
Yeah.
Running back. Niggas just be eating kids and lifting weights.
Pause.
Pause. Man, that was wild. That was crazy. Bro.
That was crazy.
Nah,
Back on track. All right. No nutrition.
I mean, we had great Deej Galt, man, our strength and conditioning coach and stuff. So we practiced, we ran hard, we lifted good and stuff. So back in the day, those schools, like college was about getting real strong and how much weight you could put on your back.
Day.
That explains Vernon and the guys of that era.
It's a little different. I was probably should have went down to Florida somewhere and just worried about track. Went down to Tennessee and stuff. Down there and just ran.
Might have been Sidney McLaughlin and Ronnie, bro.
But I was the nutrition, man. I'll tell you what, I found out how important nutrition and conditioning was when I got to the Jets. And in that rookie minicamp, that they don't tell everybody, they don't tell the kids when you're coming in that there's nobody else to take you out and put somebody else in the game, right, into the practice, because you're taking every rep. There's at rookie minicamp, there's
You take every rep?
every rep. So if you're not in shape, if you
get exposed.
oh, you're gonna get
quickly.
And then it's like this. So
That's crazy.
from period to period to it was just ridiculous. So if you're not in shape, going into those type of camps or
When you taking every rep,
going to high school or the college, the same thing with it's nobody to come in for you. Put it like that, and that's at the highest level. So, and that's the whole thing about the tradition, nutrition and being in shape and stuff. You have to be. At whatever level it is.
Pure genetics back then. You was you going off pure genetics. Because not having a nutritionist in this day and age is wild. But you know what though? That's something that we're seeing across sports. I feel like the Pelicans are a good example of that. Zion was sitting around on what was it, like a torn ACL for like a year, and they never gave him a nutritionist. He was 300 pounds.
I mean, that's.
Did you see him in that freaking Mountain Dew commercial?
That's his
Bro was a building.
That's his fault.
But no, that's the team's fault,
No,
though.
it's not.
It's a $1 billion conglomerate organization. You should give your superstar #1 drafted athlete a fucking nutritionist when you know he's fucking fat and shit anyway. He was 250 walking out of college. Yes, you give that big ass nigga a nutritionist. What are you talking about? Common sense. These are billion to $1 trillion organizations. Yes, you are responsible for giving that fat nigga a nutritionist when you know he walked out of high school at 250 pounds. Are you serious?
So when is he gonna take accountability for the way he eats?
Maybe when he turns 21.
What the fuck?
Exactly.
You know when you don't want something. You can't eat fucking McDonald's and go out there and do a windmill every goddamn day.
Let me tell you something. I don't
The fuck is wrong
expect
with you?
no 19-year-old who got $100 million to be no fucking responsible adult. Give the boy a dietitian.
Well, fucking work out. Stop being fucking lazy.
Well,
That's
he
what it
didn't.
comes to. When we was in school,
He didn't.
we used to work out.
He
We worked
did
out,
not.
worked out.
He did not.
We didn't have no nutritionists.
Also, though, he had a torn Achilles. Not that we want to like get too deep into basketball because then I will be here
His
all
weight
day.
matters.
It,
Weight
ab-
matters.
it
with
absolutely
injury.
matters, especially at his size, especially at that position. But what I'm saying is, if I run a billion to $1 trillion organization, I have more than enough means and resources, people who already are existing employees with my company.
Right.
If I know that this particular service that my company already pays for on retainer is going to help my superstar #1 drafted athlete remain healthy so that he is a valuable part of this team, why wouldn't I do that? That should be a part of my program of rehabilitation.
Oh, that shit sound good, nigga. Stop fucking eating.
Go vegan.
Fuck that vegan shit. Vegans die every day. Long live Uncle Chuck.
This nigga hate vegans. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why he hate us so much. It's crazy. Like,
Nah, hey, bro. What about the game do you miss the most?
yeah, that's a good question.
What about the game you miss the most?
That's a good one.
I'm gonna keep it one way, man. It's when you study the game and you're prepared and you go out there and it's like a matrix, you know. You see the play before it happens, you know.
Visualize it.
Oh man,
The night before,
it's
you
nothing
Like, I'm about to play this.
like, and then you the film studies like it come to life, and you in that field, man. It's nothing like it, you know. That's from a defensive standpoint, but then like offense, you know, like scoring and it's not
Like-
just not
like
the
better
score.
offense or defense.
And I look back at it, I miss the offensive days.
You do?
Because you like to get the ball more.
Oh man, and
Defense like running around.
Everybody likes to
just
get the ball,
running
so
around
that's
with
fair.
defense.
Everybody wants the ball, so that's fair.
yeah, I mean, because you get the accolades, you get the
The praise, yeah. That's part of it. That's
like-
part of why any athlete plays is the praise from
it makes
Yeah.
sense, you
That's
know?
natural.
Who
Like,
wants to just
don't
play
be
defense?
ashamed of that here. Let it
Like-
out. We
like,
understand. We really do.
You know, so you score, you get the girls. You know,
There it is. I know. I know. I swear to God. I swear to God. I know he was gonna say the bitches. I knew what's coming. I knew he was gonna. I was waiting for this man. I was gonna whisper it if he didn't say. If he didn't say the bitches soon, I was gonna. The bitches.
You can't be the
I was gonna
nigga
say it.
that made it. You can't say, yeah, I just scored 3
Ain't no way you a 5-star recruit who go
Man.
to a top 20 program with no film and no camps and not say it's the bitches ain't a part of it. That just don't make sense. I respect it
it's-
though.
you know, it's comes to territory. You know,
I respect
then,
it.
but
I
then
miss the
again
bitches
too,
too.
you know,
The bitches.
Cheers to the bitches.
Cheers to the hug.
it just. Oh man, that's crazy. But you know, it's just that whole thing, man. Just being able to make a play, man. At the end of the day, just making a play, whether it's on offense or defense, you know, it's just the best feeling. Because who wants to be on the bench and
sure.
cheering and everything?
Facts.
PT.
That's fact.
You know,
Cheerleader.
like
Do you allow your sons to play?
yeah. So I have a son. My oldest son. He plays. He's a sophomore at Churchill.
Wow.
Yeah, so he plays ball out there. He had a pretty decent season last year as a freshman on JV and stuff. So looking forward to, you know, what he has to do this year. And then I have a 2-year-old son, and obviously, you know, he's just in Pampers and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Terrible too.
yeah.
Do you want your kids to play football?
I mean, the boy, my oldest, he's doing it, and because he wants to, so
So if he didn't, you wouldn't have a
and
problem with it.
if he
Run
did,
4-3, bro.
he's not.
You gotta play.
He and he's raw. He got super talent. He can find the ball. He played cornerback out there. Can find the ball. I've seen him watching him play since he was 7 and stuff. So I'm just excited to see what he do this year and the years to come and stuff. And, he's writing his own path out there in Montgomery County and stuff. So, I shout out to his grandmother and his grandfather and stuff.
Okay.
So you definitely.
I don't want my kids playing football. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
do. I want, man. I let my kids do whatever they
Play
want.
soccer.
Football is just.
Place.
It's just a different mentality you gotta have.
It's so dangerous. Like I just can't.
It's not, you don't think about danger when you play football.
But I'm gonna think about it if they're my
you don't think
kids.
about that. Y'all only think about when this junk just came out with the CTE.
Yeah.
We didn't think about that 5 years ago.
But now we know.
But
I mean, but
it is what it is. You signed up for it.
But now
When you get when you leave out and you get in your car, you can crash.
That's true.
but
That's the
football
same thing about
nowadays.
football. I know about to crash stuff.
Football
So
now
you
you
break
can't. There's so much protection. You can't hit as hard as you want
Yeah, that's
to.
true. I would say that they're adjusting
it's
the rules.
so-
Now you can't like grab a guy's leg.
You can't
from
do
behind
a
anymore,
lot.
right? Yeah.
You can't.
They changed that rule this year.
You gotta tag them.
They
Right.
changed that
I
rule
got
this
you,
year.
bro.
So all the practicing of just being a crash dummy, for what now? It's more strategic. How do I tackle this guy's outside leg or inside leg? How do I attack that at an angle so that he can go down? Because I don't want to get a flag, So
Gotcha.
you got to teach crazy stuff like that.
So you see, they putting them new pads on the helmets, right?
Right.
You see it?
Yeah.
How you feel about that?
I feel like it's probably a 10 pound brick on your head. I don't
Thank
know.
you,
It's
bro.
like
I knew it. I knew it. Bro. It's just like it's more weight on me. You
Yeah,
know how much
it's like-
weight you got on when you wear pads. That's why
Yeah.
people don't wear pads.
it's like
Yeah.
wearing the vest or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a bulletproof vest on your head.
and like I don't
I
know
mean,
how.
but
Bro, when you wear equipment, you already 20 pounds over.
if that
Yeah.
keeps a guy from like turning into a psychopath in his 30s, I feel like it's worth it. No.
You're a psychopath. You already a psychopath. Football don't got nothing to do with that. I never thought
What?
About I thought about
That is
I
a
never thought about
blatant
getting nobody
disregard
to
for
play
like
football.
medical research.
You gonna say because he was a serial killer that it was football that did it? Don't put that on my
Maybe
Put that on my fault.
maybe Aaron Hernandez's issue was CTE. Maybe
his
that's
mama
where it
was smoking
started.
crack and she had him.
Gosh.
Fuck. Niggas he would have been one of the greatest tight ends of all time, arguably speaking. But that's a story for another day. But I'm just saying, CTE is a
If
problem.
not for CTE.
So you saying that made him kill people?
I don't know.
He
I'm
knew
not
what he was
saying that
doing.
at
It was
all.
premeditated. Did you watch the documentary?
I did watch the
So that
documentary.
means everything he knew he was doing, he knew he did it.
For all I know, he's had CTE.
It has
He was
nothing to do with his
he
head
was a
getting hit.
he was a top recruit in high school.
head
That
did
means,
get hit on
and he
the
was
right
out of
side.
Florida. He's been playing at a high level for a very long time.
He shot nigga in Florida.
You don't know what he experienced during that time. That's where it may have began.
I've been playing long as him. I'm just so Aaron Hernandez, and we both been through the same head trauma. But pause. I ain't motherfucking catching my boy. Step on the game, you don't catch me on Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? You're mad at 733. Xbox.
Like,
You know what though? I actually was curious about this.
What?
When you played at Maryland, especially like at 5'9", right, a little smaller,
Yeah.
right? Did you feel like there was favoritism in terms of like how much playing time that you got?
I had to go out and win it every day.
Okay.
Favoritism, I didn't have to deal with that because my place spoke for it, and that goes back to the math of like every practice is the game. So at Maryland,
That's deep. Every practice is the game.
Yeah,
man.
every rep, every
That's how you play.
practice how you play, man.
sure.
And we had a great DB room at Maryland. Before me, it was Foxworth and those guys. Kevin Barnes was the same room. Josh Wilson. Just to name a few, but the speed, Kevin Barnes was 6'2", cornerback.
Fact.
That was so, but now that's the norm. So now you got the whole room 6'2", 6'1", 6 feet and stuff. So
Trayvon is what? 6'2".
Like, but he was a receiver first.
He was a receiver first, but no.
Yeah,
But he had a.
That wasn't where he
was a monster.
Yeah,
Go against his bro every day.
yeah.
that's true. But at one point in time, he didn't play corner though. That was like late in his career, and he was mad about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people just.
That was late in his college
I don't know,
career.
some people just like defense more than offense. It's
You wanna
all
be a
like
star.
Your mindset.
Everybody wants to be a star. I think that's what it is.
But you can be a star on defense. It just.
You can definitely be a star on
It's
defense.
just faster on
Aaron
offense.
yeah, you could definitely be a star on defense.
Touchdowns make you a star.
Aaron McDonald was a defensive player.
Yeah.
So-
And he just retired.
Yeah, he just say he's done all there is to do as a football player. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's beautiful. Like getting to kind of like have the career that he has and to retire like in your early 30s,
Right.
spend time with your wife and kids, like really live your life. I think that's fine. To me, his career is the whole point of that shit.
I just love
Play
football.
10 hard years and then go live my life in my
I'm
30s.
like LeBron with like I feel like I can't stop until I'm done.
Can't stop what, man.
Like when you knew when did you know you was done?
Right, that's what I was about to ask.
That's what I'm about to get into it. Like when did you know like all right, I'm done.
I mean, when I was on that Amtrak back to DC
That was
from
it.
Florham Park, and
Cause it's a lot of guys like they
Like,
keep trying to. Colin
said-
Kaepernick. It's a lot of Colin Kaepernicks out here.
Man,
Niggas who just refuse to let it go.
yeah, I
Can't. It's in your heart, bro.
Nah, Colin need to let it go.
If
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say that.
Oh,
Colin, you got to let it go,
it's
baby.
in your
Like
heart.
if you ever see this,
Yeah.
you are well past the point of letting it. You need to let go. Like Colin Kaepernick, he gotta let it
You
go.
used to tell me that
Yeah.
shit all the time. You used to diss me. I was playing some of my pro football, but that's a story for
So-
another day.
Yeah.
You just can't let it go.
I played a little bit of like co-ed flag football, but you know, aside
Nothing.
from that, but
You miss it?
no,
No, you don't
He
miss
don't
it.
miss the preps.
That's because this nigga out here getting money. Let me tell y'all something. This nigga pulled up in a Tesla. He out here getting to it. You hear me? That's why he don't miss football. He don't care about this shit. This nigga's rich. He don't care. Of course he don't care. Why would he care?
Long sleeve.
This nigga got on a linen long sleeve shirt with shorts.
Hey.
With shorts.
my
With
step,
the taco meat hanging out.
Hey.
Zoom in right now. Get his
Hey,
taco meat.
Shave or not.
Zoom the fuck in.
Hey,
He's
that's
doing
crazy.
it out here. This nigga getting money. Look at this nigga's hat. Listen, you only wear a hat like that when you get into some
And he
change.
got the card he's on.
I'm telling you, he doing something crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
He'll miss it.
I ain't hold you.
Nigga's a
Do
data
the shit
scientist. What do you do now?
a programmer and stuff. So
Okay.
develop applications and stuff.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm an accountant. That's what I became. So I feel you on having a real job, like a real
Yeah, I mean, it,
some regular
I mean,
adult shit.
had to figure it out, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I wasn't able to do that playing ball. You know, I talked to my family members about, yeah, I want to. This is what I want to do when I grow up, or besides football.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, what, not you don't want to play football, so I couldn't have those
Yeah.
conversations and stuff. So,
That's an interesting thing to talk about, though. Like,
Yeah.
you feel like you couldn't talk to your family about like not wanting to
I
play
had
football. or
one
what?
conversation, and that was it. And
Really?
yeah, and it was like cut off. Like,
How hard was
You
that?
felt like they
Or
was
was
banging
it?
on you or something?
Yeah.
nah, I mean, it's just the fact that like this is what you're gonna do, and
That's facts though. That's the pressure of being like a black athlete in a family from where we're from. Like your family, like especially with the kind of talent that you had, like there is an expectation.
Oh, yeah, it's-
And what becomes of like kind of what was their reaction when you didn't meet that expectation to that level? Because it's like it's nothing wrong with just getting a college degree and becoming a programmer.
Right.
Like I mean that's a lot of people's dream,
Yeah.
right? Regular people's dream. But what's the conversation with your family when it's like they spent your whole life thinking this kid's going pro, and now here you are, and it's like it's done. I know it's done.
yeah, I mean, well, the first conversation I had was my dad. He was like, yeah, so this is like 3 weeks, a month after I came back from New York. He was like, yeah, so what do you plan on doing? Like what do you mean? I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I just got back.
He doesn't understand yet.
But he was like, yeah, you need to go to like some, vocational school or some, that's his route. He was an alarm technician and stuff. And he was good with his hands and stuff. And so he was like, yeah, so what are you going to do? I'm like, man, I don't know. So I went to massage therapy school just to figure it out because I knew I liked massage and stuff. And
You try to be a freak.
Yeah, this nigga's a freak. Freak ass nigga.
went to school for it.
You We see you coming over
Y'all
here.
better flag.
We see you coming. It's all right. Go ahead, tell your little freaky story though. Go ahead.
I had to get out the house, man.
On a preset murder, and you ain't did nothing with him.
Oh my God.
You gonna be able to.
And hold on. Take it back for a second. How old are you?
37.
And you have a sophomore in high school?
Yeah.
Okay, so he been fucking a long time, ladies and gentlemen.
He been doing
it a long time.
Baby mother's butt cheeks and all that.
Oh my God.
You hear me?
Expose me.
I bet. I'm about to follow you after this because I need to see what the fuck you follow. See if we got mutual friends because if you follow one bitch that I got, I'm unfollowing.
Block.
Oh my God.
That way.
But no, for real, like what was that? Like, so your dad's like, all right, you need to go figure something out. So you go to massage therapy school. You have your degree at this point, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yep.
So like what becomes like the path from there? Like when you realize, all right, like I'm gonna be a regular guy. What does regular guy look like in your mind? Not quite regular in Tesla, so let's hear this shit.
That whole transition, right, from playing ball, college, whatever, to back then, college, like everything's paid for. Everything
Right.
you get escorted here, there, like the top of the nine, right?
Yep.
Now you're in the real world. We didn't get money back then, but we got all the
NILs
little
back in that
yeah,
time.
no NILs.
Right.
But we had the perks and stuff.
I did.
But just hitting the real world and not having anything and having to start from the bottom. And I started out, I was selling water on Silver Hill Road, Silver Hill and Pennsylvania Avenue.
Oh, let's go back. What water was you selling?
Bottled water. I'm at
like
that's how
selling water.
that's how real it gets. Like, and you got a college degree and no job experience, no internships or anything, because we couldn't really do that. Only the real smart guys got to take the internships up Under Armour and
That shit matters.
and
That's definitely how I got my first job out of college. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So like my internship was how I got my first job out of college.
Yeah.
I interned.
College graduate.
Not every college graduate. I think like you really have to seek that out. Like in my case, it really was just God. Like one of my coaches at that time, on the lacrosse team at West Virginia, they had a friend who worked at Lockheed Martin. They were doing summer internships in Arlington, like in the finance department, which was what my degree was in anyway. So I got a summer internship at Lockheed Martin. When I was leaving that internship that August to go back to college, the guy who worked there is the nicest guy in the world. I remember him to this day. His name was Rob Neal. He said, if you can't find a job after school, you call me and let me know. I could not find a job anywhere. The job I ended up getting, it took me like 8 months to get through like all the background checks and all of that stuff to get in there. So I worked at Lockheed for my first 6 months out of college. And had it not been for Lockheed, I would have been dead broke. Because it took 8 months to get into that job. Like, shout out to Lockheed Martin for giving me my first job out of college. But it was tough. And it just felt like at that point in time, like, the job market in this area wasn't what it is. It wasn't what it was now, especially with just a bachelor's degree. Yeah. So, like, DC has one of the best job markets in the country. It's like third best job market in the country. But that depends on what your specialty is. Right. That depends on what you know. And also depends on who you know. And I think I'm realizing now, because I am on the other side of my career, like as an adult. So now I assist with hiring. When you realize the little things that will cause your application to get skipped, it's a keyword or two. And a lot of what gets your application through the door is not just like the practical experience. It's just keywords. So many people like are winning in terms of getting like interviewed for jobs now, getting in front of those spaces because of like AI. Like I let AI generate all my resumes now. Like the market is different and you gotta like be like in preparation of like kind of the way the new market is. I have plans for what I want to do. So I'm always like looking to advance in my career. So, and I am getting on like the tech side now. So I'm like,
Exactly. Where's
I'm
that?
telling you, this AI shit legit, bro. Like I'm telling you, like I've been using it with the podcast. Like this
I don't know
AI
how to
shit,
work
if you
it.
don't
I
like,
don't know how to work
you gotta start getting involved. Like, and I'm telling
I'm
that
gonna
for
check
everybody,
that out,
like
shit.
especially for Black folks. This is something that we need to know
I'm not-
because I feel like nobody talks about that. When it comes to this AI shit, like y'all using it for Instagram, y'all using it on TikTok. Y'all need to figure out how to use that when it comes to like upgrading your resumes and all that type of stuff too. Because I'm telling you, that's where the world is moving. So like, if everybody else in the world is doing this and you decide like I just ain't gonna do it, then that means you automatically getting left behind.
Yeah.
Cause everybody else moving in that direction. Like an AI generated resume or like using AI to like help enhance your resume, to help enhance your job skills. Like that's what they doing. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they doing.
10 of them goddamn interviews. I might gotta do AI after this.
Nah, you didn't get to your interview because you wore a lime green polo shirt. Like get the
looking sweet every
this
day.
nigga wore a lime green polo shirt and a gold chain.
The money is insane. The white people know what's up with me. When I doing that shit, that's all that shit they back. Every time I come outside, let me just say this right now. I step out and I put that shit on. Hit me, DJ. I put that shit on.
Nigga, you-
Every day I gotta keep dripping like this. Cost a little money to drip like this. You be capping too. Take this motherfucker. Fucking hat, 'cause you capping too like shit, bro. Take this motherfucking hat, bro. Put that shit on. I'm sitting up here trying to be calm, cool. I held my peace for too long. Fuck it. It's like Biggie said, it was all a dream. You take your hat home. Take your hat. Have ass.
Mo showing he's showing off today, y'all.
I'm in Red Bull today. Y'all sitting there fucking around, gave me no money. Shout out to Comcast for taking that one off my account.
This is crazy. So like, all right, so football. So let's get into like predictions, right? So we haven't talked about football in a little while. We have, I think Commanders have arguably one of the best pickups in the draft. You don't think Jaden Daniels is him? Because
Listen, I don't want to doubt.
almost everyone else does.
I'm gonna let you say your piece. Look, I don't want to doubt nobody, but when it comes to going to the Cowboys or the Skins, rest in peace to your career. Nobody has ever been successful coming to the Cowboys or the Skins.
No one's ever been successful.
Smaller than RG3, and y'all ran him into the ground.
One hit away, right?
Different coach, different ownership.
Same size nigga. 110 pounds. Everybody here weigh more than that nigga. How much you weigh? 115. With pads, he like 125. They gonna knock his ass out.
Got a cannon
Y'all
though.
gotta play. Do y'all know who y'all play?
Got a cannon. Yeah, I'm aware of
He
who's
got a cannon.
right.
He gotta be able to throw the money. He gotta get the pass protection before he can get his ass hit.
Okay, so if it's not Jaden, then who's the best quarterback that came out of the draft this year? Is it Caleb Williams? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
You're saying Caleb Williams is the best quarterback to come out of the draft?
Yeah.
Okay.
for sure.
And
Okay.
from here.
Shout out to
Shout out
Caleb
to
Williams.
Caleb.
We definitely love Caleb here, and we always want to, see a hometown boy get it. But it's a lot of talk around him now. I mean, I thought he looked very good in preseason. I thought Jaden did too. But I think for me, like there is a lot of talk about like if he is not immediately successful, he'll be, what's the
He played for the
he'll be
fucking
Justin
Bears.
Fields. He'll be Justin Fields though. That's
played
what I'm
for
saying.
the Bears.
The Bears don't know. Justin Fields is proof that the Bears don't know how to develop a quarterback though. What have they increased in that staff?
Not even Justin Fields. Who was the quarterback before they picked up Justin Fields? What's that nigga name again? Forgot it. Can't even tell you.
Exactly. I don't remember.
He was a first round draft pick too.
But I think like the Bears alongside like the Cardinals, to me that's a big issue with those particular franchises is really not knowing how to develop quarterbacks. If you look at the history of quarterbacks on the Bears and then you look at the history of the quarterbacks on the Cardinals, there's a very similar record in terms of like quarterbacks for very short periods of time, lack of development, and those quarterbacks go other places and turn the fuck up. Like these are it's not enough to draft a top tier quarterback. You need to know how to develop him. If you can't do that, I don't know how you expect to be successful long term. You need a program and a franchise that builds players. And I don't think the Bears got it. Like me personally.
I mean, they got some guys surrounding the quarterback, Caleb, man.
For sure.
DJ Moore, right? Mm-hmm. He's a dog. So he got weapons around him to throw the ball to. So
Did Justin not have weapons last year? Did the Bears not have? They're the Bears, so I don't keep up. Did they have weapons last year?
They had Mitchell Trubisky that they drafted in the first round,
Yeah.
and he is trash. Where is he now? VH1.
Yeah, but
Justin
like,
Fields went to the fucking Steelers behind my bum ass quarterback Russell Wilson.
yeah, and in Justin Fields' case, I'm not sure because like
He
how
gonna be
many
the starter, though.
they've moved him to like 4 different positions.
When you tell somebody they got to move out of position,
On
that
the
means you're not
Steelers,
sure
though.
about what they could do.
Yeah, they've moved Justin Fields like 3 or
All
4
he's doing is
times.
showing that
Yeah.
he's an athletic person.
But they were in games last year. They will lose at the like some free crap stuff in the last quarter. You know, at multiple
That's
games
true.
last year.
That's true.
They had a lot of winnable.
So
games.
is that like players or is that coaching?
Players got to play.
In your mind, like from the perspective of like a high level athlete, how often?
Yeah, I watched
Tell the truth. How often is it the coach's bad play calling, bad defensive strategy? How often is it coaches?
I think it's majority of the. I think majority of the time it's
So we talking like 80-20.
64.
nah 60. Oh,
You still got
60-40?
60-40.
60-40?
Yeah,
Okay.
because sometimes I mean the players got to be coaches on the field.
Yeah,
Right,
you got to be in the
right.
right position
For sure.
at the coach
You know.
win. You can't be playing this cover 2 and you covering the flats. Come on, man. You got to be in the right position to make a play.
That's true.
You know, so it but on the offense when a offensive coordinator is calling a weird play and it doesn't need to happen. You know, for example, the Miami University game last year versus Georgia Tech, and they lost against Georgia Tech when they could have just nailed the ball. Right? They didn't have to run the ball. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't snap. Whatever the case may be.
Right.
Nail the ball. Game is over.
Right.
Right? It's so simple as that. Like that's 100%. That's not no 80-20 or
Same
whatever.
could be said
That's
of,
like a
same could be
100%
said of the Lions. Same could be said of the Lions.
You know.
Their coach definitely cost them the playoffs last year.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Lions,
And the
that's
year
shit.
before. So
And Cincinnati 20 years.
he did the same shit twice. Like, and the thing is, I feel like when you look at quarterbacks making mistakes,
Yeah.
Russell never hears the end of it.
Right.
Never. But like
Russell.
when you have guys like Andy McCarthy make huge, abominable mistakes, it just feels like coaches get a pass until it's time to have to renew a contract. Like it seems like to me, and granted, I'm a casual football fan. I'm leaving that to these guys. But to me, it does seem like the first I hear of a coach being incompetent or low level tends to occur around the time that they no longer intend to renew his contract. Other than that,
care.
it just feels like coaches get a lot of protection from their own incompetence.
Right.
But that's just my opinion.
That's Sean Payton with Russell Wilson. Sean Payton did not like Russell Wilson at
For
all.
sure. That was
At all.
incompetence.
You know what I'm saying?
That situation
He
was
had no faith in
incompetence.
him.
Because you have to pay him anyway.
Thank you.
You getting rid of a guy
They paid him
just
too early.
who by the
You
way,
fooled us. We spent
Definitely paid
$84
him.
million.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We spent 84. We paying this nigga $84 million.
Nell's a Broncos fan,
Did
y'all.
not play with us.
He's a Broncos fan.
The biggest.
Idiot.
Don't give him the money, give him. But not fuck Russell Wilson. Fuck
Look at his body language right
all
now.
the yeah, for real. 'Cause I'm really heated.
Look at his body language.
I don't be doing this because I'm ready. Fuck you, Russell.
I mean, y'all got rid of Jerry Judy, right?
Yeah, fuck Jerry Judy.
Yeah, he
Send
went
him to the Browns.
Yeah, he was trash.
The Browns. Trash. He went to a trash ass team.
But so was Sean Payton.
Sean
So
Payton is arguably one of the greatest offensive minds in NFL history.
really?
Yeah, and
that
he said
true?
Bo Nix remind him of Drew Brees, so you know what that means. Championship.
I mean, they got a new regime right now, so
Championship.
Well, he's
That's all
also
I'm about
racist,
this. I'm
so
about
let's
to
not
keep
forget
going
that.
back and forth about my team. Just know we played the Seahawks week 1. Geno Smith, better get your bitch ass. Shout out to Geno Smith, but we better whoop your bitch ass. You know what I don't mean no harm. We better whoop you week 1. And number 2, we got the Steelers. Russ Wilson, we coming for your ass. Don't let Justin Fields start over you. Week 2, bring your ass to practice.
So you think
Broncos.
the Broncos going to the Super Bowl this year?
No, I didn't say we was going to the Super
So let me hear your prediction then. Who's going to the Super Bowl this year? That's crazy. You're a Broncos fan and doesn't even believe his team could do
I'm
it.
a realist. I'm not one of them cowboy niggas or football team or skins or whatever the fuck.
Don't bring the Commanders into this
I'm
shit.
not one of them niggas. I keep it realistic.
Okay.
We gonna win about 10 games this year. Because we added another
10
game. So
Okay.
we gonna go what?
So-
10 and
So best
7.
teams. So best teams throughout the divisions this year. Go.
Chiefs.
Okay.
That's what AFC West.
Mhm.
AFC North. I'm going with the Ravens.
Okay. Make sure we tell Frankie said that.
AFC West. I mean, AFC South. I like Stroud. I like the Texas.
I like Texans too, especially now that they got Diggs.
That's it.
Really
AFC
think they
East, you can't count
high power
Bills.
offense.
Fuck Aaron Rodgers. Then NFC, we going NFC East. Fuck the Cowboys. Fuck the Skins. Fuck the Eagles. Fuck the Giants. I'm going to go with the Eagles.
I'm going with the Eagles
NFC
too.
West. Who in that jump? San Fran. Who in that jump?
San Fran.
San Fran. I'm going with San Fran.
Okay.
Fuck everybody else in that division.
And I like Brock Purdy.
NFC South. Who in that jump?
You the football guy. Told this nigga to prep for this week's episode.
No,
He said, I don't need to prep. I know everything about football. That's literally what he told me. He said, I don't need to prep. I know everything about football.
That's what I'm about to tell you. Like when teams do some shit, you forget about them. I forgot all about the Jags. I forgot all about the Jags. Put the Jags.
He right though.
Yeah, when
we forget the Pistons every year. When was the last time you brought up Pistons in conversation?
Yeah,
exactly.
I felt that. Fuck the Pistons. I still ain't hear that from when they beat my man Kobe and them in the motherfucking playoffs when I was in motherfucking the 7th grade.
That was 2004. You need to let it go. You need to let it go.
They trolled me.
All right, and who you got? Best teams throughout the divisions this year. Go.
KC for sure.
Okay.
Ravens. I mean, this is top.
Got to.
Go with Cowboys out of the NFC.
Get off my show.
Yeah, I'm a Cowboys.
Fact. I
let you go ahead and say this and that about the Cowboys, man. But
you a Cowboys fan?
Oh yeah, for sure. Have
you always been a Cowboys fan?
Since day one, had a choice. I had
Interesting, considering you grew up on 23rd Park.
Yeah, I had to choose.
That's fine. It's kind of weird, but that's okay. Keep going.
So,
you just don't believe anything else you say.
Just made the whole 23rd Parkway look bad.
Shout out to 23rd Parkway.
I'm Dunlap Street, 23rd.
28th all day. Yeah.
Let me see. Here we go. I said the Cowboys.
Yep. Said the Cowboys. KC.
KC.
Ravens.
Who else we got?
The Bills.
I don't like the Bills.
You don't like the Bills?
I don't like the Bills without Diggs. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I really think that the Bills are going to find out the hard way this year that so much of that high-powered offense really ran through the receiver. Like, I think they're gonna see that this year. And don't get me wrong, I know Josh Allen is very talented. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I think like you're gonna realize this year that he's not as good as you think he is. I think this is gonna be the year to expose Josh Allen. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong about that, but that's my prediction. I'm gonna say it's like year 7 for that guy.
For Josh Allen?
I want to.
Who's in that conference right now?
He's a baller.
He's a baller, no question. But I think he's getting a lot of credit for things that the offense did.
So you saying he had a supporting cast?
He had a hell of a supporting cast. And I think Diggs was a big piece of that supporting cast. And I think we saw that when he stopped giving Diggs the ball and the offense wasn't as high powered anymore. I really think like Diggs does not get enough credit.
Everywhere. He did it in Minnesota.
He did it in Minnesota too. But that's what I'm saying. He does that everywhere he goes and get traded everywhere that he goes.
It's his attitude.
You think it's his attitude?
I think he just real nigga from here.
Nah,
He don't go for shit.
I think
It's
that
politics in the league.
yeah, it is.
That too.
But I think that folks start to figure out the Bills' offense. You keep running the same stuff.
That's true. He definitely was getting like double and triple team by the second half of the season.
Big nigga.
That's true. He's a small guy. Talented though. I think it's gonna be the Texans. Like I think that's gonna be all this other shit. Like I think the Texans gonna be a sleeper. I do. I love CJ Stroud. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Nico's out there now. No, for real. You got Nico out there now.
Yeah.
You got Diggs out there now. They improved that offense dramatically this offseason in ways that the fucking Cowboys didn't bother to.
Yeah.
So, like, I think the Texans are gonna be special. That's my sleeper pick. That's also why they're gonna be a top team because like they have a weaker division to kind of run through. Like that makes things easier for you. Being in our division makes things easier for you.
Colts and who else?
It's crazy how the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Eagles, like and the Giants, how we struggle against each other every year, but we're the worst teams in the league every year.
That's up.
And the Cowboys, I mean, yeah, you get to a playoff every year, but like
No, they don't get to a fucking playoff every year.
not every year, but like they get to
They've
the
been
playoff.
2 playoffs in the last 20 years.
Okay,
Fuck
well,
the Cowboys. They've been to the Super Bowl since '95. Fuck them. Not about to keep talking about America's team, the richest franchise every year. How the fuck y'all keep paying y'all money to see y'all team lose for 30 fucking years? Fuck y'all. Fuck the Cowboys. I ain't got nothing else to say about that shit. Keep talking about how many Super Bowl rings we got. How many do y'all got in the modern era? Fuck y'all got. Y'all ain't got shit. Ain't never been. Or everybody keep arguing about the Cowboys is my age. So in 90 motherfucking 5, you was 5. You was not a football fan. You was not watching the Cowboys play. You was watching Rugrats, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, all that. The fuck is you doing? Talking about some Cowboys. We got 5 rings. Yeah, you got 2 of them in the 80s, 70s, 60s. The fuck? What y'all got in the 2000s? In the 99s? The fuck? Fuck the Cowboys, bruh. No, it's the real shit, bruh. Stop bringing up highlights. You only seen Cowboy highlights, bruh.
I'm gonna take the opportunity to end the show right there. Actually, yeah, I think that's a great place to end it. Fuck the Cowboys. Thank you guys for coming back. Yet another episode. I believe this was episode 9. With the You Weren't There podcast. As always, I am your host at Mia Was Here 5_. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and also follow us on IG and TikTok at You Weren't There podcast. Melly,
you already know, but why the fuck you got 5 underscores?
I don't know.
Crazy. Anyway, it's Yo Melly Baby, and you can follow me at Yo Melly Baby on Instagram, Mel B Jr. on Facebook, and gang, guess what? I'm out of here.
Read.
Already, Anthony Wiseman again. Appreciate you having me. Appreciate it.
Of course.
No, we definitely appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah. But I ain't with the Texans. I ain't CJ Stroud, so I ain't with the Texans. So
Fair enough.
I'm gonna leave it at that, man.
Fair enough.
Know your team before we leave?
Dallas.
Fuck them Cowboys.
We love y'all, man. We'll see y'all next week.